Expert hints at new Prince Andrew scandal as Beatrice and Eugenie face desperate situation. A royal expert has suggested there may be more scandals linked to Prince Andrew to come, as he said you don't know what's coming in regards to the disgraced Duke. Andrew, 65, has become a royal pariah for his dodgy connections in the past. Central to this has been his friendship with sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. That led to Andrew being stripped of his royal titles by the late Queen in 2019 and him forking out for a multi-million out-of-court settlement with a sex trafficking victim. The Duke of York has always denied any wrongdoing, but his association with Epstein has wrecked his royal career. He had harbored hopes of re-entering the fold under King Charles, but his relationship with an alleged Chinese spy, which emerged just before Christmas, has ruined that. Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. Royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams has now suggested Andrew, who stays at Royal Lodge with his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, may face further humiliations. Speaking to GB News, he said, "One of the problems with Andrew is you don't know what's coming next week and next month. There's a whole history of bad judgment of one sort or another. And bad doesn't describe it. It's terrible." Mr. Fitzwilliams reckons that spells bad news for Andrew's daughters Princess Beatrice, 36, and Princess Eugenie, 34. Both are popular among the firm and have unofficially supported the family at events, despite not being working royals. But their association with Andrew has seemingly ended any chance of them playing a bigger role, especially given their own links to some of his business interests. Mr. Fitzwilliams said the situation was desperate for the York sisters, adding, "Obviously it's very possible they could play a bit more part in royal life if their father wasn't so toxic. The York brand is pretty toxic. You have got a former couple who are completely out of it, and there's no way, other than perhaps at a church service or funeral or whatever, that he would appear without enormous public criticism." Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson spark royal family clash with latest outing. Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson were seen together just minutes before King Charles's Christmas speech, sparking a royal family clash. Andrew skipped the royal Christmas celebrations at Sandringham, departing Windsor with his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson just minutes before King Charles's annual speech to the nation. The disgraced Duke of York, 64, was seen leaving his residence, Royal Lodge, at approximately 2:45 p.m. The timing of his departure was particularly notable, occurring just minutes before the broadcast of the King's Christmas message. Andrew continues to share Royal Lodge with the Duchess of York, from where the pair were spotted leaving together. The Duke had declined to attend the traditional royal family gathering at Sandringham, where King Charles hosted the annual festivities. His absence comes amid revelations of his connection to an alleged Chinese spy scandal. Andrew was described as a close confidant of Yang Tungbua, who was banned from the UK on national security grounds. The pair maintained a friendship spanning more than a decade. A statement from Andrew's office addressed the controversy. The Duke of York followed advice from HMG and ceased all contact with the individual after concerns were raised. The statement further emphasized, the Duke met the individual through official channels, with nothing of a sensitive nature ever discussed. Court judges highlighted an unusual degree of trust between Andrew and the individual, warning that pressures on the Duke could make him vulnerable to the misuse of that sort of influence. Royal commentators now predict Prince Andrew will permanently absent himself from future Sandringham celebrations. Biographer Andrew Loney told The Sun, "I don't think he's going to go to Sandringham ever again." Loney suggested the royal family need to distance themselves from him to prevent further embarrassment. The biographer described how the prince had been forced out of the traditional Christmas festivities. Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson's family living room we never see. The Duke and Duchess of York reside at Royal Lodge at Windsor. Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson might have divorced almost 30 years ago, but the Duke and Duchess of York continue to share a close bond, and the former couple live together at Royal Lodge, a £30 million property in the heart of Windsor Great Park in Berkshire. Prince Andrew and Sarah, both 64, have lived at the royal residence since 2004, when his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II, granted the Duke to lease to the property the year prior, under the expectation that renovations would be undertaken to repair, renew, uphold, clean and keep in repair, and where necessary rebuild the home. More recently, Andrew's brother, King Charles, is said to be applying pressure on him to vacate the property and instead move to nearby residency, Frogmore Cottage, the former home of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Royal Lodge, a 19th-century Grade II listed building, sits on 90 acres of land and has more than 30 rooms, including 7 bedrooms and a saloon. But we rarely get a glimpse inside the home. One room we never get to see is their family living room. One photo from inside the private royal residency shows how palatial the lounge rooms are at Royal Lodge. There are numerous sofas scattered around the room which are draped in green, pink and red paisley patterns. The ceilings are sky-high and the walls leading up to the room have been kept traditional with arched panels, making way for hanging portraits and paintings. On one wall sits a fireplace centered beautifully between the seating areas, meaning the family can cozy up in front of the fire from time to time. Meanwhile, an enormous chandelier hangs from the ceiling, adding even more glamour and a touch of royalty. Though it's likely that Prince Andrew and Sarah, Duchess of York, who are parents to Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie, have updated the interiors and decor, it's certainly likely that the traditional elements, including its regal style, have remained to ensure the home holds onto its authenticity. During the interview with Emily Maitlis, the Duke said he was at home with his daughters on the evening of March 10, 2001, after attending a birthday party with Princess Beatrice at a branch of Pizza Express in Woking, Surrey. At the time, Beatrice would have been aged 13. Writing in the Daily Mail, the Ephraim Hardcastle column noted that it had been an awkward choice for Beatrice and asked, "Is all well with the Yorks?" Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.